Incoming transmission.
What's up, everybody? And welcome to another transmission from the Outpost Nerd. I'm the nerd of the Outpost, and here with me is one of my favorite people on YouTube, talking trash and truth. What's up, Shelly?
Not much is up. What do you mean, favorite people on YouTube? Just
Favorite people
YouTube.
ever.
That's it. That's all I get.
No.
Ever in the world, in existence, shorty, in existence. Come on, gotta teach you how to talk to girls. God, I'm doing good though.
I've been told.
I'm
Okay,
tired.
I've been told I'm adorable. Okay, girls think I'm adorable. Okay,
That's one
I'm
way of saying you're
charming.
pint size. You're fun size.
I've
Bite
gotten
size
plenty of
even.
girlfriends from adorable. Thank you very much.
So have I. So have I.
I had one girlfriend we dated for a few months. It started. She commented on a picture of me and my dog. It's like, "Oh, your dog's so cute."
Oh my goodness.
And we dated for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, getting a dog is definitely an open invitation for all females everywhere to come over and go, "Oh my God, he's so cute. Can I pet him?" And then you're like, "Yeah, the dog. Yeah, then me. First the dog, then me. Then the dog, then me."
Yeah, Vicky, you just made it just in time. We just started. Literally,
Just
like
made it. Were your ears ringing? Girl.
Yeah, we were talking about you.
Who all's in your chat? Let's see. You got Darth. Daisy Girl. Hey, Daisy Girl and my Dorothy. You got Suzanne. Vicky T. Cat Ninja. Very nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, and people slowly coming in, it looks like, too.
Yeah, there you go.
So what's been going on, Shelly? I haven't been able to stream in a while. On other people's stream.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch on like YouTube. Like,
yeah, we're not a drama channel here.
So. No, it's not about the drama. I'm very tired and I could misspeak very easily and I can't keep the dates and names and everything straight in my head. So I might as well just not. Because if I can't do it right, I'd rather not do it at all. So there are much more knowledgeable people out there than me that I trust, that you can trust. I would love to say I know what's going on. I kind of do. I understand it, but I'm having recollection issues. So it would help if I got more than 2 hours of sleep a day. It would really help.
Take an afternoon and just sleep.
Because do you understand FOMO is a fucking struggle? Do you get that? Listen to my voice, nerd. Listen to it. It's gone. It's just gone. I ain't getting it back. Oh my God, Vicky, listen. Vicky got to experience something that no one else on YouTube literally has ever experienced. And that is a phone call with my mother. For the love of God. I was like, my mother's calling. You want to listen? She was like, yeah. Like, all right, sure. Oh my God. She couldn't believe, like, because my mother is exactly as I portray her. It's really hard to believe that there's an 80-year-old woman who gets sex every day and is like, yeah, I did that. She's just horrible. She's a horrible person. I love her to death, but she's horrible. And it's hard to imagine that. Yeah. And then Vicky's listening and she hears my mother go, Fredo, what are you doing behind me? What are you doing? I was like, no, Ma, no, just no, la, 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 la. Because she kept going. I was like, no. I started doing like the dip thing. No. Oh, no. Like I couldn't take it. I just couldn't. So when we hung up, I was like, see? I was like, you're witness. Like, I do not make that shit up. It unfolded in front of you in real time. How insane my mother is. Look, you have a dirty, dirty mother. Yes, I do. I had to get it from somewhere. She just plays ladylike. But, oh, yeah, Vicky was just, because my mother's accent, if you think my accent is strong, holy shit. Like, you can't. And she was like, does your mother smoke? More like, does she not?
Like what's
Because
that
it's like a
saying?
3-pack a day.
What's that saying? Every
It's
woman,
not even
every man wants a woman who's a
a,
lady in the streets and whore in the sheets. Ugh. I mean,
what'd you
I grossed
what'd you say?
myself out with that thought. I said, "What is that? What is
What's
it
that?
that saying is that it says every man wants a woman who's a lady in the streets and a party animal in the sheets."
A party animal? You learned the polite way.
Yeah,
I heard other things.
I did.
Lady in the streets and a whore in the sheets. That's what it goes. All right. Don't make it bigger than it is. That's what they want. They
Well,
want a whore in the
I
sheets
said it. I said it that
just
way
for
at first,
them.
but then I'm like, no, maybe I should tone that down a little bit.
Why?
I
You're
don't know.
not willing to say whore, but you invite me on your channel. Make
So I
it
don't
make
have
sense,
to.
nerd. Make it make sense.
So I don't have to.
So what? I'm like your fall guy for sin. You'll be like, oh, get to St. Peter. Be like, oh, you could let me in. I made Shelly say all the dirty shit. That's a lot.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my God. Maybe you are related to me. God. What is it with people throwing me under the bus this week? Frog's done it
No.
twice now. You've done it. It's like, what the fuck? I'm so
No.
nice. Damn it. Your chat said, yeah, she's going on about my dirty mother. Hi, Darth. I said hi before. Did my voice not come through?
He probably was. I don't
It
think he
might
was
not.
on.
No, it said live. I said hi to Darth.
No, I said
hi
he.
to.
I don't think he was in the chat yet. I think he
Oh,
might have come back out. But yeah. So this week is.
hi, honey. Go ahead.
It's been a trek. Yeah. New job, learning new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Not my cup of tea.
Not your cup of tea. Oh,
You know.
listen.
One thing.
You got to do
ahead.
it. No, you got to do it. I know it's not your cup of tea, but it's just
Yes,
you got to
I'm
do it. You
expecting
got
to
to.
settle and do this forever.
No,
thing is-
no. First of all, nothing's forever anymore. People don't get like lifelong careers anymore. They go to a job, they do the job, then they go to fuck home. And if they get a better job, they leave that job, go to that one. You know, you got to look out for you and what's going to pay your bills in this friggin' economy. Don't worry about loyalty to a company because they're not going to worry about loyalty to you. They don't care. As much as you could do for them, you're expendable.
Yeah.
And
I'm
I don't
working
say
on
that to be
finding
mean. That's just
right
how
now.
it is.
No.
You could
I
be
know.
the most brilliant person in the world. They'll find somebody to replace you cheaper. So, but what do you do at this new job?
It's insurance, health, auto, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's taking payments, sales, which I cannot do, which I hate doing.
What do you mean you can't do?
I don't. I just that's not the biggest issue. That's one I just don't like. The biggest issue is managing the accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Because just one decimal point out of place can cost someone hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I know. But all you have to do is double check your stuff, triple check your stuff. And then before you make any rash decisions, check it again. In accounting, there is not any set amount of times you have to check something. If you're confident and you send it through, great. I had people that worked in accounting with me that would literally, like, they would get themselves sick worrying about just one little fucking thing. I'd be like, all right, you checked it like 8 times. Just send the fucking thing. But what if it's wrong? But what if it's right? I mean, Jesus Christ. Just send it. Just send it. It's not going to be the end of the world. You can't put all that pressure on you. You know, you're very smart. Give yourself the credit that you're due. I wish you had as much confidence in you as I do. I really do. Because I think you'd be a
Well,
lot happier.
Shelly, it's hard to have confidence when everything you've done in your life, and I mean everything. I was in band, got kicked out because someone didn't want me there. Someone attacked me, and I ended up getting kicked out of the high school band.
Okay.
This isn't nerd stuff. I got,
No. Go ahead.
I, I've, I finally find a place in the theater. Now, I've shared this story, so I'm not going to get into it too much. But someone didn't like me and decided to lie about me, and which almost not only cost me my classes in theater, but nearly cost me my entire college career.
Okay. I know
I,
you have a long list, but I
sorry,
want you to answer some questions for me. You ready?
I'm listening.
Okay. How long, number one, are you going to hold on to that and let that make you negative toward new experiences? Because it seems like you're very insecure when it comes to stepping forward into something new because you just haven't had good experiences with new things, right?
I have. I'm waiting for the floor to the bottom to fall out because it always has.
The thing is, what do you do in the meantime while you're waiting? It could take a year, it could take 10 years. You don't know. So in the meantime, you're gonna what? Stick a pin in it? God, you're
Mm,
so smart. You're smart, you're funny, you're sweet. There are jobs out there that, are more geared toward you, toward who you are as a person. You're very good at connecting with like people who maybe aren't so sure of themselves. It's like how they feel and you relate better. You make them comfortable. You did it with me. People don't think that I'm shy. I am. It's just I really, really, really have to push myself to take that first step. Once I take that first step into like the public, then I'm fine. But it's getting me there. It's getting me over that curb. And I want to drag you over the curb because there's so much more to you and what you could do. And I want you to try and not settle for some stupid desk job that you're not going to be, happy doing. But just do it for now. Do it for a paycheck and figure out what it is you want to do. What do you want to do? What are you good at? I know what I think you're good at, but you tell me.
I'm good at. Uh, I'm an artist. That's basically the best word I can describe myself as. I create. If I didn't create, I'd be shooting up heroin.
That is,
That's
I completely understand that, but maybe you want to maybe just not go that
it's
extreme. I'm
like,
just saying,
yeah, yeah.
it's
I realize
not
that as it
one
was
or
coming
the
out.
other. There's a whole bunch of
You know,
options in between. So,
you
like,
know, I
what do you want to create? Let's think about it. Just close your eyes. Stop clicking the damn mouse. Close your eyes, and I want you to envision what you want to create if you were given limitless supplies, time, whatever. If you were just given free reign to do something, what would you like to do? If you could do it, what do you see yourself doing in your mind's eye? Just give me even glimpses.
I have this whole world in my head.
Hmm.
This I've been working on this for 10 years. No, closer to 20 now. Because I think I started this in 08, 09.
Okay.
I have these pictures of like places in this world. It's kind of a cross between Lord of the Rings. It's this fantasy world I've created.
Okay.
It's a cross between Lord of the Rings and He-Man, which you know, it's a world of magic and technology. I've been trying to write stories set in this world, and I have this shot of how can I mean? Okay, you're on this coast. Uh, uh, a lone figure on a cliff. Off in the distance, there's this bay with a huge city. You know, you see, and in the distance, you can see all the trading ships coming in on the water and people just going about their lives. I mean, buildings reaching to the sky. And off in the distance on the horizon, out into the ocean, you see just this wall of mist going from like the horizon to the sky. And I have an idea for stories. I have the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And I have another scene is a mountaintop with a huge crater, and floating above the crater is a giant castle connected to the mountain with giant chains.
Okay.
And gondolas going up and down the chains, like trying to getting into the castle. And
I can see it. Yeah.
And that's like where in my story, it's the typical, elves, dwarves, humans kind of thing, orcs, all that kind of stuff. I love those stories. I love Lord of the Rings. I've read them dozens of times.
I was gonna say hundreds of times. You ain't that old. Like,
I'm not Christopher Lee who reads it.
Don't exaggerate.
Christopher Lee would take out the Lord of the he would take out the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits every year, once a year, and read them. And he did that for like 50, 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so when he became Sauron, he'd go up to Peter Jackson like, that's not how it is in the book.
Yeah. I don't like how you portrayed him here. That's not how I see him.
But it's like when my dwarves, I kind of didn't want the bearded, gruff Scotsman kind of dwarves you see, all these things. I asked myself, okay, how can I still be true to that, but kind of give my own dwarves their own little flair?
If you tell me you put beanies on them like Tim Pool, I am done with you.
No. I asked myself, I said, okay, you have a race of craftsmen, of builders. What's one thing that would help them? Not help them naturally. What would make their work easier? And I came up with the idea of an extra set of arms.
Like tentacles?
Well, it's like they have a little pouch on their backs.
Nerd.
That their arms can fold into, so they look normal. But when they're working, these arms are they'll be like at their forge, and these arms will be behind them, grabbing stuff and doing other things.
That's cool. I mean, how many times did my mother say growing up, "What do you want me to grow a third hand out of my ass?" And you did. It's like
third and fourth.
And a fourth. Everything.
But it's like
symmetry everywhere. I know it's important.
Like in my world, there's like technology, like guns and stuff like that, but there's also like magic wizards and all that kind of stuff. Okay, instead of axes, what weapon would be good for a dwarf? What modern weapon would be good for a dwarf? And I decided on shotguns.
Mm-hmm.
Because dwarves, they get in your face. When they're fighting, they don't use really archers. They're in your face, in the mud, just going at you with that, hacking with you at that axe. So they'll.
All right, don't tell me the whole story.
Not.
God, I want to have something to look forward to.
So I have this idea of something. I'm not going to go into detail. Something happened years ago, and so there's this group that kind of peacekeeper, kind of like Jedi, but without the child abduction.
Without the human trafficking and,
Yeah. So their job
and weapons at like 5 years old. Sure. Without all that.
Yeah. So their job is to find technology, study it, make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, and kind of keep the peace.
Okay.
And
so kind of the way the Jedis were supposed to be, or should have been, if they were truly good. Okay.
Yes, and I have like
I'm not happy with it, but I mean, I could swallow that. That's fine. I've swallowed worse. So,
That won't be the
okay.
first time you saw something you didn't like. So
You're funny. Anyway.
I am. But I base like my characters off people I know,
Okay.
and I've been tweaking them. I've been working on my main character for a long time because I just want to get him right because
Mm-hmm.
he's
Well, everything
basically
revolves around him, right? So
yeah
if he
he's
falls
the,
apart, what's the point?
yeah he's the kind of person I would want to be. Like if I could like mold myself, like the strength, the heroism, and all that stuff, but taken to a certain degree, but also flawed. And I'm kind of
Oh,
giving
I
him
got that part down. I
yeah.
could definitely be that character's flawed aspect. I got those in abundance.
But I have like my villains
Mm-hmm.
pretty much ready.
All right.
And
No, so I'm going to cut you off because we could talk about this for literally like 6 hours,
yes,
and we
I
don't
love
have
this.
that kind of time.
Yeah.
So I know it's your channel, but I'm bossy, so I'm just going to run you. So, first of all, everybody in chat, hello. If you have not subscribed to Outpost Nerd, please do so. We are
Yes,
growing his
please.
channel. He is just over 100 subs, and we want to get
104
him,
this morning.
that nice little cushion. So if you have not subscribed, please do. If you have not hit the like, what are you waiting for? And if you have any kind of reach, share this so that he gets a little bit more exposure. If you please, I would appreciate it, and so would Nerd. Now,
Yes, I would.
yes, he
So
would.
you're 105 now, according to Darth.
Oh, see, look, it's getting bigger. So anyway, that always happens when I'm around. It's okay. And your subs go up too. So
Thanks for that. Thanks for that clarification, Chili. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. I love you, Nerd. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish people saw you the way I do. I really do. Like, but I don't know. People are brash and you tend to get defensive. And that's where I was at your age. I was very, very angry. I was very, oh yeah, I'm being nice, but then the littlest thing would just set me off. And it took me a really long time to get to where I just wish death on you instead of trying to inflict it. So like I'm growing as a person, but I would like to be kinder. I don't know that I could be. I can try every day, but
Yeah.
I'll fail every day. I know I will because I'm temperamental. I have a very bad guinea temper. That's not going to change. Plus, people are assholes. They like to push the button. Well, you want to fuck around, you're going to find out. But I think you're a very sweet, very smart, very giving person, but you don't give yourself all the accolades that you give to everybody else. You look up to people, but you don't think that there's maybe somebody out there who looks up to you. You don't know. Nobody tells you, oh, you're my hero, or oh, I want to be like you, or I watched you get through this and it really, it really helped me. And I went off and I helped somebody else. You don't usually get to know that. I get to be a part of that because I ask my chats. I'm like, hello, I need feedback. I need to know that, you guys are getting it, that this is what you want and that you're happy. Otherwise, if you're not happy, then what's the point? I have no point to me doing this. So with you,
Yeah.
I want you to reach out and take some risks. Go outside your comfort zone. I know it's hard. I know situationally it's hard, but if you want it, you'll make it happen. It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5 job.
If you would have told me back in mid 2000s when I graduated high school that I would be getting I'd have my degree in theater, I would have looked like you were insane and asked you if you were stupid.
You don't like your teeth very much, but go ahead.
I didn't like getting up in front of people, putting myself out there by myself. But then I found
Jesus?
It was just no. Jesus and I have been on good terms for many, many years.
I'm sorry. You can blame Grimm for that. He put that shit in my head. Go ahead.
I found just through happenstance, through sheer luck,
Mm-hmm.
just a place where I could create the theater. Where I thought, okay, this is where ideas can be shared. I was a little naive at the time because I never did theater. I found people with shared interests with me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it hurt so bad when it was snatched away from me.
Okay. It was snatched away, but where are you now? Are you there? Or do you want to be present? Because this is the only time you get to play with. The past is done. You can't undo it. You can't change it. The only thing you do is be better than it. Your future is not guaranteed. My future is not guaranteed. We just had this discussion. It's so very much not guaranteed to any of us. But you have now. So if you're sitting here with me now and you're thinking of all the things that you want to do, what the hell is stopping you from the minute we turn this off to go and start doing what you want to do? Because you're not going to make a job out of it right away. None of us on YouTube went and said, oh, I'm just going to start a YouTube channel. I'll be like that in a month. I'll be flush. Like, that doesn't happen. You could tell yourself it's not going to. You got to put in the work. But my main thing is you're a lot like me in one regard. You got to actually start. I'm not talking ideas. I'm not talking an outline. I'm talking you need to dedicate time to what you want. If you want to make it grow legs and, become something, that can support itself and support you. You want something that'll flourish. So if you want to write, if you want to create this, if you want to do storyboards for it, however you want to be creative with this, start now. Do something small. Get a box or something. And every day do one thing toward that goal. Just take one step. If you get an idea for a character, jot it down, put it in the box. You get an idea of what they should look like. Do a rough sketch, put it in the box. Because at least you're building towards something. You're not just wishing it.
I actually kind of do that in certain regards. There's a website.
Not certain regards. You got to just do it.
No, I do. When I have an idea, I go to this website called Hero Forge. Shout out to Hero Forge. If they want to send me free stuff, I'd love you to do it. What you do is they have options where you can design tabletop gaming miniatures.
Okay.
I mean, some of the stuff people have made is just mind-boggling. And what I do is I create my characters.
Okay.
Let me actually.
You have something to show me? I'd love to see it.
I'll bring it up. Because I do it all the time.
Because then we're going to pull cards for you for your future to see maybe what steps you should take.
Joe, let me bring it up. It'll just take a second to bring it up. But I absolutely love this. I love this website, and the company. They actually listen to the consumers, which I love so much. They actually have options which are designs from fans, from people who were like, you can request certain items, and sometimes a few months later you'll find it on the site. It's really good stuff. I think it's going to be stupid right now, not load. But I have that's one thing I'm going to do probably when I get some money. I'm going to put it all in the bank, but buy one little nerdy thing. Just
one? You fucking liar.
To start off with. Shoot, last night before the stream, I was online looking at lightsabers.
Oh my God. Any good ones?
Yeah, but they're like $400 or $500. Holy shit!
Yeah, I know. Oh my god! If my son was to try to hit me with a $500 lightsaber, I would probably go apoplectic. You just watch my face just right down the middle,
Well,
light shine out, the whole nine. But I want
all
one.
the
Oh my
blades,
god, I want one.
the blades are just like those
I want the green
long.
one.
See, I always liked blue or purple.
Oh, I love
It's
blue and
purple
purple, but I want the green blade.
But they have different designs. They have like the characters,
I know.
but they have like their own designs on these websites. But they're like so fucking expensive. Damn it, this site's being a butt. It's not opening up.
All right. So we'll talk and we'll do
Yeah.
your cards, and then you can see if somebody out in your chat would like a quick read. And we'll see if they spread the word about your sub count, because that's what we're here for. We really, really want to get his sub count up. I do have a couple questions that I came in here with, and my brain, they kind of went, but it's like whatever. Exactly. Like, do you want to do like somebody had mentioned? Do you want to do like comic books, or do you want to do like a manga?
I also have an idea for a comic book. Here we go.
Okay.
But I mean, that can all lead to different things. That can all lead to each other. If you, I mean, I have an idea for like a alien themed comic book that I would love, but I can write it, but I can't draw it. I can't draw to save my life.
Okay.
If you saw if a doctor saw my handwriting, they would look at it like, "What is this?"
Well, luckily, the people who write them don't have to actually draw them. But
so
there are illustrators out there. You should get somebody who's a little, amateurish, so that they're kind of new, but they know what they're doing, and then you two can, evolve together. But I do have to tell you that you do have the over 100 subs, because Darth Hideous went on a campaign for you and ran all around Twitter and all around freaking YouTube and running place to place, person to person, going, "Did you sub? Did you sub? Did you sub? Did you sub?" So yeah, he campaigned for you. Like, he really went deep. So yeah, he wants to make sure he gets his accolades. So there you go, Darth. Did I do you proud? And if I didn't, suck it up, Buttercup. But I want to pull 3 cards for you, but I want you to think about what you really, really want while I shuffle. Do not lose focus. Pick one thing you desperately want to change or have manifest. And you think about that, and then tell me when you're satisfied.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Your manifestation is going to come in the top of the cards. So I want to pick, all right, that option 2, and then option 3 with that. Okay, so I got to turn on the damn camera.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you wanted the camera on. Oh, how do I? There we go.
You'll be all right. It's all right. I'll just bring them in more. Okay, so
you're good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So when it comes to your future and like especially your present, you're very much a dreamer, always looking to how you're going to make things better, how you're going to get, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, but you don't really take the steps. You don't make the decisions now to start now. Like, this is not something you should put off. This is something you're growing with the community. You need to make this project that you want to happen. You need to make it a part of you and your own individual community. Like, they have to grow. The project grows with them. And you'll find it easier because you'll find inspiration all around you. You just have to take that first goddamn step. I tell you all the time, come on, just do it. Just do it. Do it. Don't make excuses, because I know I have kids. You know, I'm not saying you're a kid, so don't go get bent all out of shape. But I mean, you are a little emotionally like dang, but aren't we all? So what I want for you is, like, I want you to see you have a lot of options. But the thing is, you don't pick any. And then you're desperate for some kind of change. You're not doing yourself any kind of service by not, like, really investing in yourself and in your dream. Because if you don't believe in it and you don't work for it, nobody else is gonna. Nobody's gonna want to help, because they're gonna think it's just, a passing fancy. They're not gonna know this is your passion. They're not gonna know that you want this above almost anything. So here's the thing with you: sharing is not always beneficial to you, because you are thin-skinned. Just like me, I'm thin-skinned. I can act the toughie all I want. It's so easy to make me cry. It's ridiculous. Like, it's really easy to hurt my feelings. It's the same way with you. How do you and I both counteract that? Can you guess?
How?
With anger. We fight. First thing you do is you hop up and you're ready to go right for that jugular. It don't matter that you're like an inch tall. It don't matter that I'm like an inch tall. We go after people like we're friggin' like bull mooses. Moose maneuver. Sorry. I had to follow that train of thought. But I mean, we do. We're the chihuahuas of, like, the fighting world. Ain't nobody gonna, like, meet us and be afraid. Well, I've learned how to make people afraid, but it still sometimes they want to play games. See, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. I don't like being underestimated, but it's good. Let them underestimate you. But you get so mad, you show your hand. You need to stop that. You need to, like, be able to swallow it and not express the reaction you want to have. I still have a problem fixing my face. That's a Hoboken thing, by the way. You should feel like very, very special, because we used to, like, if somebody was mugging, if they're mean mugging, and you're like, oh, come on, you're in a good mood. Yeah, I'm in a good mood. Then how about you fix your face? Fix your face, because that one, I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like attitude. I want to tell you all the time, like, fix your face, but it's not your face I see. It's the energy that you have coming forward. And I feel like you don't believe in yourself at all, because you believe that other people were right who have put you down in the past. And they're not. They're really not. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to fight for everybody else. You just got to fight for you, because nobody else ever has. So, I mean, if you fight for you, you're going to be able to accomplish great things. But you got to really just worry about how other people see you a little bit. I'm not saying that opinions should matter, but impressions, you're starting out. Impressions mean a lot. And that's one area where you could work on it. Don't be so angry. It's easier said than done, but I did do it. You just have to have that one thing that you love above all else, that's all you want. And you're willing to say, I'm just can't argue with stupid. I'm just going to shut my mouth. And listen, you know how long it's taken me to do that? Because I'm just like, but why don't you see it? It's right there. It's right in front of you. Why don't you see it? It's so frustrating. But they're not going to change. They don't want to see it. The same way you don't always want to give up your anger because it's comfortable. You know it. You react in a way that other people can use against you. And they could use it to make you blow up more, or maybe to make you look like foolish or immature. And I've seen it done to you. So it's not surprising. I just don't want to see it in the future, because that's your power. Don't give anybody your power. It's up to you to be strong and to be silent. There's a reason why John Wayne was like the fucking man. The man barely said anything. He didn't have an expression. He squinted a lot. That was it. But yet people like rallied to him because he exuded confidence. He exuded this sense of justice and fairness, this maleness. Maybe just do something more constructive rather than go right for the anger. Even if you're just doing like breathing exercises. You could talk to Clumsy. I think she knows a lot about like meditation. I absolutely suck ass at meditation. I can't be quiet and I can't be still. So it just doesn't happen for me. And then you have like the 9 of Pentacles. You tend to let your problems build up, and build up. Even once they're dealt with, you're still hanging on to them. They're precious to you. I don't mean, Lord of the Rings, precious. But they mean something to you. And it's almost like you don't think that you have to move forward and be that adult you're capable of being. If you let these go, you have to grow up. So as long as you hold on to that hurt, you're stifling your own growth. And I think part of you is really okay with that. And that's not good, because this is the potential of what you could be. The Emperor he's got the palm, the world in the palm of his hand. He's got the thunderbolts. This is the second time that I pulled this card for you, just when you were doing it. And it's the 4th time that I pulled it when I pulled cards for you to figure out what the hell you should be doing. So what you need to do is you need to just make up your mind, write out a plan, and stick to it. You need some kind of business model. If you can do that, then you can keep yourself on track. But as long as you give into the anger and you don't, every expression, every feeling that you have is just broadcasted on your face, then people are going to be able to use it against you. You're giving them ammo for nothing. They don't even have to try. I don't want you arming anybody like that. It's bad enough that you're such a sweet guy. I know you're going to get hurt in life a couple 100 times, probably, to different degrees, obviously. But that's the risk you take when you're a good person. When you care about other people. Not everybody's got your heart, bro. Not everybody's got your heart. But you are greatly loved. You are. And don't let them give you shit about it either, because that's just, I can't. Do you have a specific question?
I feel like now I know how Joe felt.
What?
I know how Joe felt when he saw your video.
Why? You feel naked? Ooh. Do you feel naked? I made Joe Neerman feel naked. La 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 la. And I read Vice's. I read Vice's cards because he made me do it like right then and there. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull cards. You're gonna do a cold reading for me." Fuck my life. I was like, "All right, what cards are we using?" He made me read gummy bear cards. Do you know what it's like for somebody like me to read gummy bear cards? I was like, really? Like, I love you, Jeff, but give me a fucking break. I read them, though. I read the shit out of those cards. But I can honestly say that was a first. I have never, ever in my life read gummy bear cards. It's just bizarre. But, yeah. So what do you feel like for Joe? Feel naked? Feel naked, nerd? Do you?
I feel like, that dream, like when you're speaking in front of people and all of a sudden you're like in your underwear.
Yeah, I don't have that dream. If I'm in my underwear in front of people, you lucky bitches. I'm just saying. But I mean, did I say anything that was so revealing that, nobody would have known that? I don't think so. I think a lot of it, we do know you, but I can see you in the cards. I could see what is holding you back. I don't want to put like all of you on blast, so I kind of got to do it little by little. I want you to ask the question, any question you want, and I am going to pick your card. Well, I'm not going to pick it. I'll just pick the one that tells me. So what do you specifically want to know? And we'll see what they have to say.
How can I let go of this anger that I know is like an anchor around my neck?
How can you let go of anchor? Here's the thing. When you're asking the cards or yourself a question, be as direct and simple as possible.
Okay.
Because you'll use that confusion to give yourself an out. When you tighten up the sentence and tighten up the, the context and keep it very succinct, you got nowhere to go. There's no escape clause there for you. There's no loophole that you're going to find. It's just basic fact. And I think you would do really, really well with just basic fact. So just go for like the short stuff. Don't make it complicated. Simple is best. There's somebody here. Jesus. You are just insistent. Which one are you? Okay, it's you. All right. I'm going to do 2. First step, next step. Nope. All right. Nerdy, nerdy, nerdy. Nerdy, nerdy boy. You all right, nerd?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know why you're quiet. I hate quiet. You know that.
I'm fascinated and a little nervous.
Don't be nervous. All right. So, what was your question in its entirety?
How can I let go of the anger?
Okay. The thing is, you have to forgive the one person who probably should have protected you like throughout your life and kind of let you down. And you know who that person is. There's the female, there's the male, and then there's the 3 quote unquote furies, which were technically sisters in most lore, which means siblings for you. So there's a lot of forgiveness within your family that you need to just give. Even if they don't believe in you, even if they don't forgive you, you have to let that go. The only way to do that is to say, you know what? We all go through things. You're all a bunch of assholes, but I forgive you for being assholes with me and not taking me as seriously or however you want to frame it. And then when you're done, you're going to find that you are much more able to support yourself. You're much more able to see things from different sides, and you'll be working a lot more closely with the Gemini. So I don't know who the Gemini is, but it's somebody who, they have this dual quality. Like they could either be like really, really big cut ups or they could be super, super serious. And that's what you need, because you need kind of like a bracket where you can play within. And you need somebody who's able to tell you, all right, you're fooling around too much today. Like, can we get like a page? Can we get a picture? Can I get a concept? Something. But they're going to be, on you to always produce. YouTube is the same way. If you don't produce content constantly that people want to see, you're going to die off quicker than anything you've ever imagined. Oh my God, I'm using Trumpisms. But like what I'm saying is, and it's very, very hard to say this because, again, my brain is a little wonky today. So, Chad, I apologize if I stutter or I repeat myself. It's not exactly a great day. and lack of sleep not making it better. But the thing with the Gemini for you, and the way I saw it before, not this card per se, Gemini seem to follow you. How many do you have in your life? Because I always get the feeling that there's one that triggers your anger more than all the rest. And that's somebody that you need to like work things out with. So it could be somebody who's passed out of your life, but you still haven't forgiven them and you're still not satisfied with how it ended. And it doesn't have to be a twin or anything. It could just be somebody who shows you one face and the world a different one. And whether they do it for spite or petty or like protecting themselves, I don't know. I can't see that. But there's a lot of forgiveness that you need to give, mainly yourself, but you also need to do like your whole family, like around you. You need to create an environment where you feel safe and you can do your work and you can create and you don't care what people say. Everybody's going to have a different opinion. And let me tell you something, if one person likes your stuff, how much more could you ask for? Mm-hmm. To have a stranger come along and be like, you know what? This kid is good. If you could hear that, it would just buoy you right up.
I've experienced that before, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I've shared the story about being called for jury duty one summer while I was in college. And about a month before, the student theater group had done a night of 10-minute plays. And it's basically about 4 or 5 of us, we decided we were going to choose little scenes, little plays to do. We're going to cast them, produce them, rehearse them, direct them, then come together and do little night of showcases. I, of course, picked a superhero themed one, just the way I am. I thought it was funny. And it was a big hit. People loved our night of 10-minute plays. And
okay.
Our black box at our theater lab where we were performing had rafters where all this lights and sound equipment was. And I would go up and watch the performance while they were performing my play. And I saw people roll in their seats laughing. Literally, one guy I knew he rolled over in his seat, clutching his side. He was laughing so hard.
Oh, you worried me for a minute there. I was like, clutching his what? His pearls?
His side, because it was it was funny. And so,
hey, people find different things comforting. You don't know.
And so
don't
I'm
judge.
in the jury selection room. It's full. The only seat left is beside me. And this girl comes and sits down. And we get to talking, and she says to me, she's like, "So what do you do?" I said, "Well, right now I'm a full-time college student, studying theater at the college." And she goes, "Oh, I love the theater out there. I go whenever they do a show." Just like she says, "I just went a few weeks ago to that night of 10-minute plays they had, and it was so funny." And that, of course, perked my ears up.
Mm-hmm.
And I said,
I'm sure it perked a lot more than your ears.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
He was cute.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Oh, really? Which little play was your favorite?" She's like, "I loved that superhero one. It had me dying laughing." And I just started cracking up. And she looked at me like I was crazy. She's like, "What? I said, "I directed that one." And she goes, "Oh, I loved it. It was so funny. You did such a good job." Mm-hmm. And it made me, I was able to go back to my classmates and my professors and say, what we're doing here really matters to the community. They love what we're doing.
Of course. And you have that engagement. They get to make that connection and still disappear from their own lives for a little bit. What could be better?
Yeah. I mean, it really just, it made me realize, what I'm doing matters. It's not all facts and figures and math and that kind of thing. That's more to life than that.
Yeah, there's sex.
Well,
Food.
just watch. Yeah, Dogma. The faces that we make during sex is hilarious to the
Dogma's
angels.
one of my favorite movies. Thank you very much.
It is. It's one of my. It's one. Alan Rickman in Dogma. Holy crap!
Mm-hmm.
That was so. It's. I mean, I'm a Christian. I'm not Catholic,
Metatron.
but it was so funny.
I
It
am
just.
the Metatron. I love him. I miss him.
I mean, it was Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, with Alan Rickman, and all this cast. You're like, how does Matt Smith get
Chris
a hold
Rock.
of these guys?
Yeah. Everybody.
Yeah, Chris Rock.
Salma Hayek
Yes, yes, yes.
with her boobies.
That didn't hurt the movie.
No,
at
that was
all.
a great scene. I love the strip bar scene. Oof. I could have done without the shit demon though. That was gross.
Yes, that was a little. That was a
The
little.
Golgotha.
That was like,
Blech.
yeah.
No. How come it always comes back to movies with me and you? Always. All right. I want you to ask one more question. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
To me, that's just how I how I relate to life is through movies and
Through movies? Yeah, I
entertainment
know.
and stuff.
I know.
Let me think of one.
Okay.
How can I? No, I want to make it simple.
Oh, don't complicate it by making it simple. I mean, only you can make it more complicated by trying to make it simple.
Okay.
Oh,
How can I handle these creative slumps that I get into?
okay. Um, well, figures it would all be off to one side. God forbid you pick from the middle. The positioning of the cards tells a lot because some people are all about extremes. My cards are usually pulled from the very beginning or the very end. Okay, so what was your exact question? How can you get rid of the rage?
Now, how can I get over these like creative slumps?
Okay. Well, I mean, it's telling you here right now, you have all these ideas going around you. You have other people doing ideas. You would have luck with these, but luck is right outside what's keeping you within. And there was, damn it. Anyway, the point of these is you need to be able to let things go. However, you do not have to permit someone to make you feel like shit. You do not have to permit someone to give a testimony based on his fees or whatever. If you don't have the facts, then you shouldn't be getting up there. You really should.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as this card goes, you have so many ideas in your head that you would love to be like, just bounce them off somebody. Maybe not even go after them, but like just start it off. You know, you can start at the top of the page, middle of the page. That's very important. It tells a lot about who you are. And this is the 10 of Wands, which for me, again, is ideas. It's protection. It's death. Because back then, like, they would say the sun is so hot. It's just that they didn't know what the sun was, basically. You know, they had no way of knowing. Because how do you convey hot? without using some kind of gesture or like tool or something. How do you say, oh, that top is hot? They look at you like, and you were just here. And I have my daughter, like watch me make like the little chicken feed thing, I think she called it. But I don't know. For me, it's getting harder to do stuff like this that takes concentration because I don't have it. Like my brain physically hurts. But everything that your cards scream to me, they tell me over and over that life is really short. It's really short. And you need to make use of every day that you're given because you never know when that rug is going to get pulled out from under you. You're never going to be aware before the ship hits the rocks. It's a kind of in the moment situation no matter what. But you can prepare for it. You can ask for help. You can offer help. You can get more involved with your in real life community. Go to a church meeting, go to a prayer, thing, go to a baseball game during, Little League season in a couple weeks. Like do something, anything to get out of your head and say, okay, what am I really angry at? Because I don't think you were ever angry at the people that you took it out on. Because then I'd see who you were really angry with and you'd be all smiles and shits and giggles and, hey, give me a hug, my homie, and whatever. It's very confusing. You put out a lot of mixed signals, just say. But, I mean, I kind of took over your stream, so I kind of feel bad now.
No, this is fine.
Kind of took over. The thing is, with you, I really wish that you would get a mentor who would teach you how to negotiate and fight back for yourself without fighting back. You're a very good employee. Does your mouth get you in trouble sometimes? Yeah, probably. I know mine does. But then again, I don't care. Like, I don't care. You don't like me? Fuck you. Do you have a question or you want to do it for somebody else? Do you want to pick somebody?
That last one hit me hard.
You're over it. He's like, no, I don't. No, don't want to do it.
I
See
just
if
don't know.
somebody. Did you see if anybody wants a reading done? A quick one.
Yes, Suzanne. I saw Suzanne one.
Suzanne, hey, T plus hello. Absolutely, Suzanne. So I am going to once again shuffle the cards while I think of you. We've had enough interactions that I could remember your energy and pull on that for any of the cards. They're going to tell me what I'm going to do anyway. And did she have a question or just a general reading?
I think she. No, I think she just wanted a general reading.
All right. So let's see what they have to say. She hasn't been there long. All right. Okay. So, Suzanne. Again, now when I do tarot card readings, I want everybody to know I do not give negative readings. If I see something negative in the cards, I will look for its complementary but yet opposite takes by different people. So like Staten Island people, New York, whatever. Whoever I can like see an article for here, I'd happily commentate. But there's so much surrounding like the death of Natalie Wood, that she fell off her boat, did she fall off the boat, who went to sleep, who didn't go to sleep. It's crazy out there. So, Suzanne, one of the things you do is you're a facilitator. So you tend to wish everybody well, and you want to, like, it's almost like you want to pair people up, like for collaboration, for life, doesn't matter. You like to see people connect. And that's a very strong suit of yours. But what this is telling me is that there's a lot more of that to be had. And this could be something that's really good for you. Like, start noticing the people around you and see who can get matched up. And maybe just, sometimes they just need a little push. And you're very good at giving a push. The Four of Wands. At times you feel really powerful, which I would have to guess as when you're protecting someone that you like or care about. And I've seen you do it. I've seen you go like really hard at somebody who went for either somebody, on the panel, or perhaps even like the owner of the pet or whatever. I know I'm like all over the place. I have a million images going through my head. I apologize. But for you, you need like that support system, Suzanne. And it's there. You're cultivating it. You're growing it like as we speak. And you'd be surprised how many people look to you and think, wow, they think you're very decisive. That's what I'm hearing. You don't like making decisions, but you're really, really good at it. And you tend to make better decisions for other people than you do for yourself. Because ironically, you put more thought into them than you do into you. Especially like the people in your inner circle, like children, whatever. You're not thinking, how is this going to affect me? You're thinking 20 steps ahead for them. Okay, they want to get here. What can I do? What can I say? Do they believe in themselves enough? Can I talk to them more? All these different things. You want to build the people in your circle up because you know that by making them stronger, you're stronger. And together you're like unbeatable. What you need to do is bring more people that you can trust into that community. You need to really build it up. And it's not just for you, it's for a lot of people, because this is something you're really, really, really good at. It's not something that you waver about. You're very good at seeing things in people and calling bullshit, and still with a smile on your face, so nobody really blames you. You're also one for taking on other people's problems and really feeling them, taking them to heart. While that's very, very good, the main problem here is you need to learn to let go of it too. It's one thing to listen to somebody's story, right? And then you try to like envision what they went through. You can almost feel what they're feeling, even though you know it's impossible to compare. And yet you're really, really good at saying, hey, there's all this potential. I see potential here. I see potential here. I see potential here. And then you gather it all together. And I don't know, friendships form, relationships form. And I think you're really good at that, in the fact that there have been people who see things differently around you. Because that's what like this is telling me. When you have that youth, everybody's perspective is different. And you have this way of always championing for like the youth, for the younger, for the innocent. There's this drive that you have to protect, but also to like educate and to make better. This is what you should be looking at for doing in your life. This is something that you definitely, right now, you have an abundance of people to choose from. You just have to whittle it down to your individual needs and what you want to do. You're very good at matchmaking, very good at deal making. So that's something that you might want to look into. And you're very good at keeping everything close to the chest. You can keep a secret. I mean, you can keep a secret. Some people can keep secrets. Yeah, oh yeah, I didn't tell anybody, but they'll let something slip. No, not you. You're literally like a steel trap. You will not let anything out because the trust that people put in you, it means more to you than anything else that they could possibly give you. There's no shekels they could give you that would ever equal how it feels to have someone's complete trust. And I can tell you, a lot of people are rallying, they're seeing you. You're a lot more visible now than you ever were. And I think it's good. It's good publicity for you as a person, but it will also drive you to make those changes that you procrastinate about. All those things that you're like, yeah, I can do it, but maybe tomorrow. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next year. And you're always putting it off. You got to concentrate on you, do you, and everybody will benefit, because you're very loved in your community, especially like you're very, very, very closest. So I would say your children and your siblings. I wouldn't even say your spouse because that's not always the case. I just want to pick one thing for you because there's something here that's messing with my ability to see. Okay. The Emperor. So, Suzanne, for you, the Emperor would be kind of something that I would say something that you took on as a responsibility. They were supposed to be like this powerhouse. This is how you saw them. You saw them as this great person, world in the palm of their hand, powerful. And something happened to isolate. You see how he's on this dais of his own. He's on this stone dais, but the abyss behind him is ridiculous. So this is telling me that you made sacrifices and you called into question everything you knew, everything you were, and you morphed into this other version of you. Maybe you weren't ready for it. Maybe you need to revisit the part of you that you had to skip over. But apparently there was a lot of accountability and responsibility that you took on that you shouldn't have for someone your age. However, it made you incredibly strong. It made you incredibly smart, and it made you incredibly gifted when dealing with other people. So that's where your focus has to be. And you could even do it to honor this person because they're the one that's blocking like everything. I keep trying to say things and it's almost like my jaw is working, but the words are different than what I intended them to be. So somebody's like messing with my interpretation, which means they don't really want you to concentrate too much on them. They don't want you to blame them. So that's somebody who holds a lot of guilt. So I would just be very careful with yourself. This person, either they passed or like they're getting up in age so that they're starting to think about things. And their reflection is that, they want you around. They want you to do for them, whatever. And your thing is, there's this person, and I love this person. They're a huge responsibility. It's a huge drain. And yet I can't help but see who they were meant to be. Not everybody is meant to be a king or an emperor. But there are people out there who maybe are meant to be the head of your community. Maybe they're meant to spearhead an activism thing. You don't know. But you tend to wander around circles where those people happen to be in abundance. These told me that you like to stir the pot, but not in a bad way. There are people who stir the pot to start drama and just to be trolls. You like to stir the pot because you don't like anything stagnant. You believe in motion. You believe in the free flow of ideas and thoughts and words, and you want to move around. You want to do all sorts of things. You're not idle at all. You need to become the inspiration for people who are idle and procrastinate and who don't know what they're doing. And you need to thank yourself, give yourself the credit for growing up long before you were supposed to. That's a really hard road. And there's somebody telling me that they think you did a really good job. Suzanne, what you did in your life, you were meant to do. Every decision brought you here. And here's where you were meant to be. So you got to just embrace it and forgive yourself. That's what they're screaming at me. That you need to forgive yourself, nobody else. And start, soaking in the power. You're a powerful person. Show them your power. And don't take no for an answer. I don't know if that was accurate or not, but I'm trying not to look at chat at all because it makes me dizzy and I don't have my glasses on. So, hello, nerd. Anybody else?
Anyone else want anyone? I think I saw someone else in chat, but
That was very hard, that reading for me. I kept hitting a wall and it was like, it's like when you go through the car wash, all the bristles and everything else. It's very disorienting. That reading was like that for me.
mm-hmm.
So,
if you start feeling like it's too much, let me know.
No, it's that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it draws attention to the person that I'm drawing for. Mm-hmm. So that tells me that there's somebody who's important, but that I'm not really supposed to be like just laying everything out. Every time I go a certain direction, I get yeeted in a different direction. And then I'm sitting there going, how did I get here? This wasn't like the words coming out of my mouth aren't always the words that I'm planning to come out of my mouth. Like it's very weird. It's not something that happens a lot now, but when I was first learning, it was a lot easier for outside influences to get inside my mind and whisper like little detractions or little like illusions or stuff like that so that I would misinterpret and I would go on a tangent. But for this, as much as it kept pulling me, it's very clear that she's good with people who don't fit. She gives them confidence. She believes in them. And that's something that she really needs to stick to because there's so many more people that she loves that are going to need that in the next couple months because everything's so different and everything is continuing to be different. Like that was the main thing. I had a hard time articulating it. I am so sorry. I'm usually much better than this, but I also had 1 hour sleep. So my mind is oatmeal. I promise we'll do a do-over for all of these when I'm better.
Fill up one for Moose.
Can you do mine, Shelly? It's been a wild week. Oh, my Moose maneuver. Oh, Moose.
Oh, and Dibs in the chat as well.
Dibs in the chat.
Yep.
Hi, Divinity. My head is so full right now, and I don't know where it's coming from. I have on my production mellows. I shouldn't be this addle-brained doing this. This is usually where my best focus is. Look at that. I can't even fucking shuffle. No, it's weird, nerd. I am fantastic at all this like crap. I've been doing it forever. And it's bizarre to me. I don't know. It's weird. It's like my mind was jumping like ahead 2 minutes, back 2 minutes, ahead 2 minutes, back 2 minutes. It was very hard to orient myself. Moose. Dude, you so are. Oh, I don't think we're going to have a problem with Moose because these cards feel like they're on fire. Which which means something big is trying to present itself. So, moose, moose, moose. I'm not asking you a question. I'm doing a general reading for you because it has been a crazy week and I don't want you shifting focus from where you're at. You go back. Trick me. Fool me once. No, it's definitely you. Come on. Talk to me. Talk to me. All right. Oh. Yeah, this is going to be the last one because I'm getting a headache. And that means
Yeah,
I
don't
definitely have to lay down.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the Magician, the Three of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. My dude. All right. So Moose right now is hiding. He's riding this wave of just ups and downs. There's no getting off this ride. Moose, once you're in it, you're in it. You just got to hold on, even when you got to white knuckle it. The race you're in is almost surreal to you. The situation you're in is surreal to you. And that's good because you don't really get to experience the things that you do on the level that you've been experiencing them. You're taking in more of the human condition than you're used to. It's not just facts. It's not just music. It's not just a movie. It's not just this. It's everything. You have visual. You have smell-o-vision. You have fucking feel-o-vision. Anything that you have, everything that comes together to create this, like, I want to say this emotional kind of shield that you use before you go out to the world. It's not so much a shield as all over like body wrap. It's meant to protect you coming, going up, down, whatever, that nobody can get to you. But there's huge chinks in your armor where people can get through. So while you still seem to, create miracles because you pull things out of thin air, you need to stop being so generous with yourself. You need to put a value on your time, on what you do. And you need to make people realize that you're not just doing this for shits and giggles, that you create things because it's something that you enjoy doing. And it's something that is actually like a calling to you. You're another one who doesn't like unfairness. But with you, visuals and hearing things are pretty much a guaranteed way to change somebody's mind. Not everybody's, but most of the people. That's why they use it in propaganda, because it fucking works. I don't know who this girl is, but apparently she's like awaiting you. Like she really thinks that you have all these thoughts about her. And I hate to say it, Moose, but like there's somebody out there who's just waiting for you to pick them. And it's somebody you know. And it's somebody who's very close to you. And she's just not, maybe she's not the type of person you would normally look twice at. But she's somebody that's worth a second and a third look and a fourth look and a fifth look. Like if you're going to grow up, that's the type of person that you need. if you are going to, create more things in the future the way you're supposed to, you're going to need somebody who's keeping down the home front, because you're not going to be able to. You're going to be busy. And you mark my words, you are going to be very, very busy in the very near future. I can't see doing what, but you're going to be in high demand, and you're also going to be responsible for a lot more than you've been up to this point. But that's all it wants me to tell you. This, though, you need to, I don't know, dude. I want to pull that again in a couple days and see if that card is the same. Because as much as it makes sense for me to be like, there's somebody who's isolated waiting for you, I feel like that's an ongoing situation with that person. But that's not the person that these are referring to. The one who these are referring to is somebody that you know, but not in a, I guess, notorious way. And the other one is somebody that, maybe you don't have too much respect for or whatever. And I don't want to get into that, but it does play a big factor in what your next move is in life, because you're not willing to let it go because you know it's wrong. You want to fight. The thing is, not everybody's got the same amount of fight in them that you do. So you need to lend your fight out. You need to give that fire to other people. And you need to be a lot more critical of yourself when you're looking at stuff. Do not allow any bias to creep in. Do not compromise yourself like that. If you can do that, and I'm not saying 100%, nobody can do it 100%. But if you can do that, then there's somebody watching. I can hear that there's somebody watching. So that's for you, Moose. I don't know if that's a good one for you, a bad one for you, or whatever for you. But, there we go. I get a feeling that there's someone out there actually waiting for you with your skills and your positivity and your like sheer fucking determination to help them. So instead of focusing so much on just one thing now, be open to it, that somebody's going to approach you. I don't know if it's male or female, but like I said, I'm not at my best. I'm really at my worst right now. So I want to redo like all your readings, because I shouldn't be getting this confused when I'm doing them. Usually I have perfect clarity when I'm doing them. So something's not right. I don't know if something's out of alignment or whatever. Divinity said, someone's watching. That sounds kind of awful. He is being watched, but not by who he thinks. For some reason, you think one way, and it's like that's a negative connotation. You are being watched that way, just so you know. But the more positive way, that's somebody they're looking for something special, somebody who's going to be a stand-up type of person, somebody who's not going to give up, who's not going to get discouraged, and somebody who can present information to them in a way that they can understand, because I'm getting the feeling that they have a problem with processing. And that could be one of the reasons why I'm having such a problem with the processing, because they don't have linear thinking. They don't have concrete thinking. Everything seems to be fluid motion and abstract. Think of your mind as like a Salvador Dali painting. That's where my brain is right now. And it's very hard to see through that kind of thing to see reality. So I'm giving you the best I can. But Divinity is not wrong. She's not wrong. I do need sleep, Vicky. I'm slurring, but this takes a lot out of me. I'm sorry. I hope I didn't disappoint anybody. I did the best I could. But Moose, yeah, there's something out there for you. Somebody really needs your help. I keep getting the number 3. So it's either going to be 3 hours, 3 days, or I wouldn't go 3 weeks because it doesn't feel that far ahead. But like between now and in the next 3 days, keep an eye open for somebody who maybe is trying to start a conversation with you and they seem trepidatious, try to be a little more charming, because people that need help scare easily. So you might be intimidating them in a way you don't intend. And this is something that you are meant to do. Maybe you don't want to do it or need to do it according to you, but it's been placed before you for a reason. And you could decide to do it or walk away, either one. But that's up to you. And now I'm done because I'm completely spent. So can you talk just a little bit, nerd? While I wind down.
It was just.
It's just a lot.
Yeah, I mean, some of the things you said, almost like if I had been standing up, probably would have knocked me on my ass.
I don't remember what I told you. It's all gone. Like, that's the problem. My brain is an etch-a-sketch when it comes to these things. That's why, like, when I think Joe was going on, I was like, I said that. I can hear my voice saying it. I don't remember it. I don't remember any of it. Oh, thank you, honey. I am.
You mentioned, like,
fucking drained.
How life was short, and that kind of hit on some worries that I have about people in my life.
Uh-huh.
I'm
sorry, I'm laughing at Viv, but I'm listening to you, people that you have in your life. I know. Go ahead.
And especially this week after my dad having surgery.
Yeah, I told you that was going to go well, though. I don't think you're going to have any problems with that.
Yeah, it's just we're waiting to see if the surgery takes. It's just this thing that if he had a throat surgery due to acid reflux, they had to kind of rearrange.
You okay?
Yeah, I just saw what Divinity said.
Why? I can't see that far. My eyes are shut. You are big loved. They know you love them back. What? Nerd, you're big loved. They know you love them back. I know that makes sense to me, like in 5 minutes, but right now it don't.
Yeah.
My processing is really, really slow, like right now.
Hopefully, if he follows the diet and everything went well, because there are chances that his esophagus might move back down and the surgery would have been for nothing. Is what the doctor said. So it's still something that we're dealing with.
Did they also say he's not allowed to yell? So don't aggravate him?
He doesn't yell anyway.
Oh, please.
My dad's surprisingly quiet. But of course he has a son and
I could have said, are you sure that's your dad? But I don't want to go there.
Well, he has a wife and a son that does more than enough yelling.
You're not getting an argument from me. Go ahead, continue.
No,
I was just being nice and not agreeing. Just say I was just going to stay quiet.
No, and people too, I don't know how to change this. They don't realize that I don't think I come across like showing the difference between anger and like passion. I mean, there's a difference. And I don't know how to like differentiate the two. It's always been hard for me. But I have problems with emotions to begin with.
You have a problem with blocked emotions. You don't like to believe the emotions you see, but you like to believe in the emotions you assume. That's where you trip yourself up. You assume that the things coming at you are meant negatively when they're not. And you respond negatively. And that in turn makes them respond negatively. And that's how that whole shitstorm happens. You need to not assume how people feel. Because I know it's hard for you to interpret. It's hard for me to interpret too sometimes. Because I'll say, like, are you serious? Or are you just fucking with me right now? Because I need to know. Like, because I can't always tell. I don't have that. I don't have that ability with everybody. If you're not an easier read, if you're real stoic, or if you're a very, very good liar, I will not pick up on your tells because your baseline isn't really your baseline. What I'm watching and what I'm looking for, it's false to begin with. So anything that I learn after that is also false. You do that. You start on the wrong foot and you go in thinking one thing that's not true. And then everything that happens after that justifies how you were feeling. So you need to like just let people come to you fresh. Don't put expectations on them. Don't cloud your judgment with how you think they feel or how you think they're going to react. Not everybody's going to attack you. Not everybody's going to back you. You know, you got to figure that as you go along. And you also have to factor in the world is a shit show right now. Nobody knows. I mean, nobody really knows what they're doing. We're going day to day looking for something to give us like some kind of hope that things are going to get better, that maybe we're more informed. If we're more informed, you know, forearmed is forewarned is forearmed. I knew I could say it. I just, but it's you go in forearmed, but not always with the right knowledge, you know? So you can start like the wrong shit pot is what I'm saying. So don't react. Don't act out of any type of like loyalty, malice, any kind of those emotions. You need to stick with logic for just a little while. Oh, that's what you were saying. You need to stick with logic. That's what it was saying, not logic, Logic. You need to stick with logic. So keep an eye on logic, on Joe, on good logic. That's, oh my God, why can't you be clearer? I hate when they do that. I kept hearing logic. No, they didn't have an accent, which meant that I didn't fucking understand it. But no, yeah, you need to not, like, there's something that's going to be, I told you, there's something to watch for. And Joe Logic is the key to that. So he's a direct connection. So if you spend more time, like look at some of his streams while they're happening, not things that have already happened. What you're going to look for is something that's coming to you. So it's yet to happen, but you have to see it happen in real time. If it's already happened, that's not what you're meant to look at. This is something very new. And it's something connected to Joe. I just don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
My instincts are telling me you need to keep a better eye on what he's doing live in order to pick up the hints. And then it'll become more obvious because you're good at puzzles. You're good at putting the pieces together. You'll start to see them and keep notes. But yeah, I'm so pissed I didn't see that. What is wrong with you? Not wrong with me. I'm talking to the one that doesn't know how to fucking pronounce a word. But anyway, sorry. So yeah, not Logic, Lawgic. So you got to switch gears. Whatever I said to you, which I don't fucking remember, it leads back to logic. It'll start and end there. So really, like, I would say make him a part of your life for the next like week to 2 weeks. Like really try to watch as many of his lives as you can, because that's where it's gonna show up for you. So I'm glad I feel better now. So now I'm not so confused. No,
that makes one of us.
No, you don't understand. When figuring out that one word, it's almost like somebody lifts like this. It's not a sheer shower curtain. It's one of those like frosted kind that you can't see through. And that's gone. So like there's another one behind it, but it's like a different color, or it's opaque, or it's clear, or whatever. The walls slowly, like the curtains rise as I learn what they're trying to tell me compared to what they're actually telling me. Sometimes it's not that easy to figure out. I mean, come on, logic and logic. Like if I didn't hear the awe and think coffee, because there was a picture coffee in my head, I was like, why? And then I went, the the way I say it, the way he said coffee. And that's how I got to logic. It's a very convoluted path, but once I got there, it went, yep, you got it. Like everything was just there it was. So I don't know. It could be one of his guests. It could be somebody that calls in, but I would definitely, it has to be live. It's nothing that passed. And like I said, if you're watching something of his that would, even if you're like 5 minutes behind, that's not the one. It's, you have to watch it in real time. So don't go back to get a backstory. If you walk in the middle of his show, stay in the middle of his show and just watch from there on, all present live in real time. That's very, very important. So at least you have a homework assignment for the next like week to 2 weeks. Dude, it's not often that clear. Like that's why I was so convoluted, because my mind was trying to puzzle out that one thing and I kept getting stuck. That's why I was like, I can't concentrate on anything. I keep going back to the mistake that I made. That's my fucking flaw. I can't let shit go. If I make a mistake and I know it's a mistake, I can't move forward until I've corrected it, or at least until I've apologized for it or claimed it. I'm never going to tell somebody, oh, I didn't do that. No, if I did something, I'll own it. If I said something, I'll own it. What are you going to do? You going to be upset with me? Well, you can be upset or you can get over it. Like everybody makes fucking mistakes. I'm not going to hold it against anybody if they do that to me. Only major betrayals. Those little like slips that people make, I don't get bent out of shape over that. I'll give them a look like, really? And that's pretty much the extent of my ire. Like I don't care about anything enough to be that mad at an accidental slip. Malicious things, that's different. You want to fight, we'll go. But no, if you're trying your best and you're still just not quite making it, I can work with that because I've been there so many times. It's really, really hard to always pick yourself up. And it's really, really hard to forgive yourself for stupid shit that you do. We all do stupid shit. But the thing is, forgiving yourself for it gives you permission to do the right thing. To try again and again and again until you get it right. And sometimes by the time you get it right, now you've mastered the fucking thing. And you didn't even know that was a goal. So for you, I really like the thought of you getting ahead of something. It could be just a personal thing for you. It could like tie back into like the problems that you have and the insights that you want to have. My self-awareness is too high because I'm too critical of me. Like if you were to give me a compliment, I would immediately bury it under 80 fucking things that I already know are wrong with me. Because of course that matters more than the one thing you told me, but it shouldn't. It's just, the negative stuff. I'm used to that. I have libraries of negativity just listed who said what and where, and they can go fuck themselves. It's the positive stuff is like, one of those little, like the little phone book that fits in your purse or in your pocket. That's pretty much where I can keep all my positivity. So it's hard. And I know you're the same. You're not used to positivity. So what you and I and other people have to do in this very negative world is to create the positivity and give power to it. You're the only one that can do that in your life. What is it saying about the two beasts? There's a good, like a white wolf and a black wolf. One represents good, the other represents evil. Which one wins when they go to war? Well, the one that you feed. Because that one's going to be stronger. You're no different. If you feed the negative beast, that negative beast will consume you. Imagine what would happen if you fed all of that to the positive beast. What kind of person would you be if you had that confidence? If you had that determination to learn and be better and to help and to be helped, because you are a person in the world. You can help yourself. You can ask for help. You count. You matter to more people than you realize. But you have to allow them to love you. You have to allow them to care. If you don't, then, they get tired. Everybody gets tired. We all have our own shit. So it's hard to constantly try to to help somebody or to get close to somebody, and you want it and they want it and it's there, but you have all these insecurities and it's draining.
It's amazing you just said that,
Why?
because just a few years ago, I was seeing this girl.
Mm-hmm.
We'd known each other. This was the girl I've mentioned before. We've known each other since high
You
school.
said weed twice in a row, so I'm gonna have to light up. That was an omen. Just so I'm telling you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You said weed. So you say it third time, and the goddess of weed comes down and grants us. Here she is.
Went on, and we reconnected about 4 years ago, and we were seeing each other, and I didn't feel that I could give her what she wanted. I couldn't give her the love that she deserved. And looking back, and I've been thinking about this for the past few weeks. Looking back, it wasn't her. It was, I couldn't love myself in order to love her.
Okay. What about her did you have a problem with, per se?
It wasn't. One, her health problems scared me.
Okay.
She's
That's understandable.
blind. She's blind, which
Okay.
that wasn't an issue. I would just stick my arm out like a gentleman and we'd walk. Didn't have any problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
It was the seizures.
Okay.
She had terrible seizures.
Don't put all her stuff out there, but just summarize. You don't want everybody to know her business.
She had health problems that scared me.
Okay, they were extreme health problems. And from what you're saying, they were sudden too, right? Like they were unexpected.
Yes.
Or unpredictable.
Yeah, they could come on just like that.
And you were a lot younger. So I mean that would be hard for you to deal with. It's a lot to take on for anybody at any age.
Yeah. I felt like
what are you feeling? No, I need to know what you're lying to me in a way. Because I can hear it's not so much a lie as you're not telling me something. There's a hole in your truth.
Well, some of the things you said, especially about the short life, have really brought up some of the anxieties.
Okay.
Like when my dad goes, life as I know it is over.
He's not going anywhere.
And it's just, well,
I want to say, look at me. I wish I could make you look at me. He's not going anywhere. He's not. I know that's your anxiety, and I don't want to cut you off or anything, but stop it. You're borrowing trouble. You're borrowing worry that you don't need. He's here. Tell me, if he was to be slated to only be on this earth for another month, is there something you could do to change that?
No, not at all.
But where is he now?
I think he's he's either in the back room in his chair watching TV, or he went off to get some medicine this afternoon.
Okay.
So, because he can't swallow.
When are you planning to spend time with him?
I usually go in the evening, sit in the den with him for a little while. He and I, we don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but I try to sit with him in the evenings for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
35, 45 minutes to an hour, maybe just a day. I'm always asking him if he needs anything. Um, it's there's a lot of when you said something about forgiveness, he was the first person that came to mind.
Okay. Because here's the thing, if you don't forgive him now and something does happen, you're not going to blame him the rest of your life. You're going to blame you. And it doesn't take much to forgive him. You forgave him a long time ago. You just won't admit it. You won't admit to yourself that it's a relationship you want, because it's easier to just get angry and walk away and say it was never meant to be, because it doesn't hurt as much as saying, this is what I want. Why can't I have it? You can if you try, but you both have to try. You can't be defensive. You know, it's like hold the mirror up. That's who you're dealing with. You're not dealing with him and his issues. You're dealing with you and yours.
Yeah, he's back in the den. I just heard him.
I heard him too.
Jeez, didn't realize my mic was that sensitive.
No, I have those mommy bat ears. As long as he's sick, I'm going to hear him moving around. But
I mean,
you don't forgive yourself for anything, and then you pick fights with other people because you're always afraid that they're going to uncover something that you don't want other people to know or they can use against you. He's your father. He's the only one you get. You know you forgave him, but you need to give yourself permission to enjoy him, to not be always mad at him, and to just take him as he is. You're not going to change who he is. You're not going to change how he is. And let's face it, at this point, he's not going to change you either. So unless you get to accepting both of each other gently as possible, because you're like, oh my God, too fucking just, oh, I want to take your heads and right together. I don't like this voice because my little nonverbals don't come out right. But I want to take your heads and boop. See, it still don't sound right. But that's what I want to do. I want to knock your heads together. Cocotazo all the way. Because you're very much alike in your temperament. You're very much alike in your insecurities. And don't say, oh no, my father. You don't get to see your father as a person yet. You're not quite there. He's still your dad. He's not really a person. You don't realize he's got all the same problems you do. He's got all the same insecurities. He's not walking around going, oh, I don't care if my kids love me. Of course he wants his kids to love him. Of course he does. But that fear that maybe he fucked up, maybe he's not worthy, maybe he just wasn't a good parent and he's lying to himself all these years, like that's all in him. He's not going to show you that. He's cut from a very old cloth. They would rather swallow glass than admit that they did something wrong or they were, emotional. God forbid. Oh my God, what am I? What am I, a girl? It's like, no. It's very much a machismo thing. But you can forgive yourself and you can give yourself permission to have a relationship with him. You could say, okay, we're both older. Maybe we don't have to rehash the past. Maybe I can just fucking let it go because I can't change it. He obviously loves you. You obviously love him. Just let each other. You're fighting against the current, and I don't know why, because it doesn't serve either one of you. But one of you is going to have to bend, and it's going to have to be you. He's too old to. And he's in the position of authority over you. If he ever gave up that power to that generation, that was everything that defined them. You want him to be less of a man to make you more of one? Because that's how he'd see it.
Mhm.
So just love him and forgive him. And forgive yourself for being so mad. You're hurt. That kid, he was hurt. It's okay. You're not that kid anymore. You could love him in the ways that your dad didn't, or at least the ways you didn't think he did, because he didn't express it the way you would have. Doesn't mean it wasn't real. Doesn't mean it wasn't there. He's not you. It's not the same. They're not going to show you what you grew up knowing was acceptable to show people. They're just different. And some can't move beyond that. Just spend time with them. Don't have any expectation. And I promise you, if you do that, no matter what happens, you will look back and say, you know what? I'm glad I had that time with him. And that's it. That's the end of my rant. My head is officially out of words. At least until somebody pushes my fucking button again. So it's like,
I give it 10 minutes then. 10 minutes then.
I don't know. It depends. You push the button in my forehead or pull the string out of my back. It's like, whatever. So that's what I have to tell you. Your mom doesn't factor into this anywhere. Your siblings, nowhere. Niece, nowhere. The focus is your dad. And I wonder if that's going to be something to do with good logic. I wonder if he'll have his dad on at some point. Because his dad is always good for unbelievable knowledge and wisdom. I mean, that man drops fucking gems like unreal. So maybe that's something you can pay attention to. Maybe that'll help your situation. Or maybe Joe will bring something up on the stream that'll ring a bell with you, and maybe it'll resonate and allow you to move on, to be better.
Mm-hmm.
He does drop those pearls of wisdom in between his, dad jokes. I love the dad jokes, but he thinks he's so funny. I'm like, no, they're corny, but I like that. So, how do you feel? Because I don't want to leave you if you're upset or anything. If you're upset, tell me.
It's just a lot.
It's a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot to process. It's a lot to digest. I have every faith that you'll come out of it with a better understanding of what to do.
Yeah.
You're smart. Stop doubting yourself. Come on. You're my nerd. I trust you to know shit. Now I need you to know shit about you. I know tons about you. And I would love to tell you the shit that they talk about you up there. Spirits are watching you, boy. Gotta leave that sock drawer alone. So you want to wrap up this stream? We're just about on 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a heavy stream today, that's for sure.
Is that a weight joke? Because I will kick your ass.
No. I'm not.
Oh, come on. I'm
either.
a girl. I had to go for the joke.
Yeah.
I had to go for the weight joke. Go ahead.
But it was.
I gotta lighten you up because you're way too serious.
You gave a lot to think about. A lot of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was also not. It was fascinating to watch you read, not just to be read.
Mm-hmm.
But it was almost like seeing that energy go out from you to the cards and connect with the cards.
Well, I would love for you to be able to handle a charged deck like mine. My deck is very in tune with me because I've had them for decades. They've never been anywhere that I wasn't. If I went on vacation, they were in my luggage or in my purse usually. But they've gone where I've gone. They've moved where I've moved. And they've always had a place of honor and respect in my home. And because of that, that's why they talk to me. That's why they allow me to talk to things that shouldn't be visible to me, things that I shouldn't be able to hear. But because I've, touched the other side so many times, you get a little altered. I'm not afraid of dying. I don't want to leave people. There's a difference. I'm not afraid of passing on. I'm not afraid of how it happens. I'm not afraid of if it hurts, because everything has an ending. I'm afraid of what I leave behind. I don't want to hurt anybody.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, so thanks everyone for coming out. I appreciate it. I think this is probably the biggest stream with most people I've had. I usually run 3 or 4. So thank you.
How's your sub count?
Let me see.
I need good news. How's your sub count?
Let me bring that up. 109. I've gone up.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
Almost 10 people today. Wow.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. If you haven't done so already, please do all the clicky YouTubey things and click the like and subscribe. And if you have any kind of reach out there, share the link so that they can, poke their head in at his channel and see what he's up to and lend some support.
Yeah, support me, support Shelly and all the other creators.
Don't worry about me. I'm good. Concentrate on you.
Sound like
Darth.
I
get around. Okay, I get around.
So I think that 2 hours, just a little over 2 hours. That was a good show. Thanks again, and we'll see y'all later.
Chat, I did.
You want to repeat that? Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I didn't.
It's
Later,
still
everybody.
live, dude. I hope you know that.
Yeah,